type. Make sure you've reset the preferences for the program and opened it up. We're going to open up the end file. So click on open, or choose file open rather. Select l9end.ai in the lessons lesson 9 folder and open that up. Now you might see a missing fonts dialog box. What I want you to do is close the dialog box. Don't activate them, because we're going to activate there. We're going to work with them later. So click skip here. Now choose file open, and we're going to open up the L9 start file. So go ahead and open that up in the same folder. Alright, I'm going to go to properties panel, choose file save as. Let's save this. Save it on your computer. And let's call this hardware store ads. Make sure Illustrator is chosen for the format or save as type on Windows, and click save. Click OK. Illustrator options dialog box. And hopefully you're getting used to this by now. This is the 9th lesson, and we open the end, we open the start, we save it, we reset things. It's just, hopefully it's kind of, you're getting used to this. Choose Window Workspace, and make sure Essentials is chosen well. And then choose Reset Essentials so we can go back where it should be. The first type of text you'll add is add a point. So come down here and choose one vertical add so we can see that. Select the type tool and come out here, and what I want you to do is click, don't drag, below the building and type RJ Hardware. Oop, lowercase. And I messed that up. Okay. Alright, select the selection tool and shift drag the lower corner point here and make it bigger. This is called point type, which essentially means that if you click and start typing, you can resize it or scale it by dragging one of the corners. Bunch of practice by adding a little bit of text here. Go back to the type tool, click and type, making your home beautiful. Okay, select the selection tool, shift drag a corner a little bit bigger. We're going to kind of, mess with this later on. I'll move it up. And there we go. Now you'll add area type, which is type within an area. It's a box maybe. This is a little more akin to InDesign. You draw a box or create a box, and then you put type in it. Choose to horizontal add from down here. And with the type tool selected, move the pointer into the aqua box here. And what I want you to do is drag. And we're going to make an object that's about 100 pixels in width and 100 pixels in height. Something like that. And you can see the placeholder text automatically. And what I want you to do is zoom into it. So choose View, Zoom in, maybe a few times if you want to. And then type your local home repair specialists. And you can see that the text is actually wrapping. It's within the frame, within the box. Okay, select the selection tool. And in this case, if you come out here and you drag the box, like a corner of the box, to resize it, look what happens. It actually wraps the text within rather than resizes it. This is a big difference between area type and point type. Double click the text to switch to the type tool. Put the cursor before the word repair, press Shift Return or Shift Enter, and it breaks the line to another line, keeping all of this the same paragraph still. Select the selection tool and drag a corner so that the box looks something like this. The text is, it's like that. There we go. You can actually convert between area type and point type if you needed. With the type tool selected, come to the right of the RJ Hardware's logo down here and click to add some point type. Type 215 Grand Street. Now notice that the text keeps going. That's the thing. I'm going to put in a bullet point. It's option 8 on Mac. I'm not sure what it is on Windows. There's a tip in the book on how to add a bullet point. You want to find that out. 555 hyphen 555 hyphen 5555. All right, press the escape key and you'll select the selection tool. Now, I'm going to use my space bar to move over a little bit and then release. If you move the pointer over the annotator here, you're going to see that this is how we can convert between point type and area type and the other way around. Right now, this is point type, which means if you drag, you will scale it. I don't want to do that. Let me undo. So if you double click on this little thing, it converts it to area type. Now you can drag the lower point down here and you can wrap it like that. I wanted to add a little video about area type auto sizing because this is actually pretty cool. If you want to follow along, you can. I'm going to copy Option Drag or Alt Drag this box right here. And if you put your cursor in there, so double click on the text there and put your cursor in and press return. And then, you can type in something like your local. The problem is if you look, for my box, the box isn't tall enough to fit the new text, so it tells me, oh, look, it's not fitting. That's what that little plus means, overset text. If you come to your selection tool, come to the bottom of the box here and you can see this little widget. Double click on that. That's called auto fitting. So now, and I misspelled everything, your local, if you were to do this, if you were to go in here and press return and continue typing, look what happens. The box automatically grows or shrinks for that matter. So if I remove a line or I'm like, oh, this is gibberish, let me get rid of all this. Look what the box does. The box automatically shrinks. It grows or shrinks to fit the text. That's called auto sizing. If you come back to the selection tool, you'll see that it's still there. If you drag to make this taller, for instance, or shorter, it turns it off. If you double click, I think it turns it off as well. There we go. Okay, delete the text box, back where we were. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to import some text. You might want to bring in text from somewhere else, like Word or other programs. So let's do that. We're going to import a plain text file. Choose one vertical add from down here. Choose select deselect just in case I can't do it because I'm nothing selected. And then we're going to place. So choose file, place. This is the same command for pictures, for, well, text, all kinds of things. So choose place. In the Lessons Lesson 9 folder, select the L9 text file and click place. You might see this text import options dialog box. You can leave it alone. There's certain things you can do, remove paragraphs, etc., but we're just going to click OK. Move your cursor right over here, and you're going to see you have a loaded text cursor, or loaded text icon. And what I want you to do is drag. So drag down roughly here and let go. And you'll see that the text is there, but there's probably going to be a plus right down there. That means that the text will not fit, or it doesn't fit in the box you drew. You just created area type because you drew the box. We're going to fix that later, don't worry. For right now, save your file. So before we start this, I'm realizing I forgot to drag this up, so I'm going to do that. Drag it up here. Okay. If you have text and it doesn't all fit somewhere, and maybe you want the rest of the text to go on another artboard or somewhere else, you can thread the text between text objects. So let's do that. Choose View, Fit All in Window. There you go. Select the selection tool, and you're going to see we've got that plus right there. Why don't you go ahead and click on that, and then move the pointer away. Now you might need to click, I had to click twice to select it first. Move the pointer away, and you're going to see you now have the loaded text icon right there. Move the pointer to the upper left corner right here of the box, and just drag down and make it about as big as the box. There we go. You can now see that there's a line connecting the two. This is called threading. There's a little port here, tells you it's going out, and a little port here tells you it's coming in. So it's threading from here to here. Click in the first text object over here, and then drag the right handle, and watch what happens with the text as you do. It's pulling it back in, or pushing it out. You can see that. We're going to start our big section on formatting text by activating Adobe Fonts. First of all, make sure that, whoops, I deselected. Make sure you have the Creative Cloud desktop app running. You're signed in, obviously, because you wouldn't be using the program if you weren't. And you're going to see the fonts options right up here. And this is where, it's going to, if you activate fonts and do things like that within the program, you're going to be able to see them there. Okay? All right, back in Illustrator, select the Type tool, and click in the small text in the vertical add on the left, right there. Choose Select All to select all the text across both. And in the Properties panel, come over to Myriad Pro. Myriad Pro is your default font. Click the arrow to the right, and you're going to see this menu. Now, I can actually close that. And if you look in here, you're going to see all the fonts that are local on your machine right now, all the weird ones. If you click Find More right here, you'll see the Adobe fonts that you have available. There's a lot. Click the Filter fonts. If we want to filter them, we can do that. And I want you to do this. We're going to filter by sans serif, right there. That shows you only this type of font, kind of more rounded fonts. Scroll down. You're going to have to scroll down a lot. I'm going down on my menu here. We're going to find Rajdhani. Where is it? AJ. You can do it, you can do it. There it is. All right, click the arrow to the left of Rajdhani. And you're going to see we have a whole bunch of different kinds here. You're going to see semi-bold. To activate it, come to the far right and click on this little activation icon. And then click OK. That's going to basically download it. So you're going to get the font, be able to use it. Click the Activate button to the right of Bold as well, so you have that. Oh, I had it activated. You can see it's now deactivating. Whoops. I'm going to wait a second and reactivate it. Okay. I'm going to activate. There we go. Okay, after activating the fonts, if you come up here, you can click Clear All, which is right there, and that's going to show you all the fonts again. It's not going to sort them or, filter them anymore. Okay, with the threaded text still selected and your menu still showing here, click the Show Activated Fonts button right here. It's going to filter the list and show you all the fonts that are activated. Now, your list may not be many. It might be a couple, depending on what you've done. If you move the pointer over the fonts, you're going to see a preview out there, which is kind of cool. Come find Rajdhani. Click the arrow to the left, and you're going to see semi-bold and bold. Choose semi-bold, and it should apply it. All right, with the selection tool selected, go ahead and do that. Click the RJ Hardware text right here. Shift-click the Making Your Home Beautiful and your local home repair specialist here. Click the font name over here, and instead of just trying to find it in a list, you can actually search or filter. So type in RAJ, and you're going to see that there was Rajdhani Bold and Rajdhani Semi-Bold. Click the Clear filter, and you might see others. You might see some others. Click to select Rajdhani Bold to apply the font. All right, click the 215 Grand Street text here. Click the font name, same thing, type in RAJ, and then choose Rajdhani Semi-Bold. I wanted to talk just for a minute about fixing missing fonts, because this is kind of a big deal. We've been doing it so far. If you open a file for any of the assets, a lot of them have missing fonts, and I kind of quickly walk you through it, but I wanted to just talk about it real quick. I'm going to do this. You can follow along if you want to. I'm going to go to File Open, and I'm going to go to the Lessons Lesson 13 folder and open L13N. The only reason why I'm picking this one is because it has a missing font. I'll click Open, and you should probably see the missing fonts dialog box. Now, this is the missing fonts workflow, which means if you open a file from yourself, from someone else, whatever, it's going to say, oh, there's a font in here that you don't have on your machine. If it's an Adobe font, it's going to automatically allow you to activate it. So it'll have a check mark here that says available on Adobe Fonts. All you need to do, like we've been doing, is click Activate Font. I'm not going to do that because we're going to do it later in another lesson. Once you click Activate Fonts, it'll automatically download it and allow you to use it just about anywhere. Now, if you see a font that does not have a check mark and available on Adobe Fonts is not there, you don't see it, you're going to have to replace it another way. You cannot activate because it's not an Adobe font. You would click Replace Fonts. It would show you the font here. It would say it was missing. And we still have the Activate. We can activate from here because it's an Adobe font. If it wasn't an Adobe font, you would have to pick a font from down here. And you could say all documents or fonts or all system fonts or whatever. Come down here and pick another font and say change or change all. So your job is to go through the document. It found the font that's missing. You pick another one and you change it. And that's pretty much it. It's showing you where it is right now. I'm not going to do this because, like I said, this is a lesson for later on. I'm going to click Done. And usually when you activate or usually when you fix fonts or anything, it's going to say you can turn this on automatically. Enable Auto Activate. That just means if you have Adobe fonts in the file and they're not activated, they're going to be activated automatically. All right, I'm going to click Skip and we close this up and go back to our original file. Now let's change some font sizes. With this selection tool selected, click to select the RJ Hardware heading over here and look in the character section of your properties panel. You're going to see the font size. Now it's not even a whole number. That's because you dragged the corner here to resize it. Come over here and change it to 60 point. You can choose that from the menu. You can see the preview happening. Click the Making Your Home Beautiful right here. Select that. And come over here and you can see the same thing. We resized it, but manually by dragging a corner. Change it to 24. Now it's a little small, so let's make it a little bigger. You can use the up arrow here and change it to 30. That's a little better. Click in your local home repair specialist, and let's change the font size to 54. You could, if you wanted to, click the arrow 50 times or type in 54 and press enter or return. Now because these were point type, when you resize them over there on the right, they automatically resized with the box and everything. This is area type. The box won't get bigger. So you have to change that. You have to drag to make it bigger. So I'll do something like that and then drag it up a little, get it out of the way. We're going to liven up our text a little bit in areas here and add some color. With the text, your local home repair specialist selected, shift-click the Making Your Home Beautiful text. Click the fill color box over here. Swatches are selected. Select the white swatch. We're going to make it white. Whoops, I missed that one. I didn't shift-click. There we go. All right, click the RJ Hardware text. Come over to fill. And we're going to select a dark gray swatch. You can press Escape and choose Select Deselect and save your file. There's a lot of formatting you can apply to your text, and we're going to apply a little bit more. Click the white, your local home repair specialist, and I think the lines of text are too far apart. We can adjust what's called leading to change the distance between the lines of text. So come over here, you're going to see leading. This is the auto value, automatic value. Select that, type in 54, and press return or enter. You can see it just a smaller value brought the lines closer together. All right, now shift click RJ Hardware and Making Your Home Beautiful. And I want all that text to be capitalized. We could have typed it in that way, but we can change it now. Click More Options over here in the Character section of the Properties panel. And then click the All Caps button. You can see there it is. Now, unfortunately, this is area type, so it's not fitting. So if you click away and click on, you can make it so it all fits. And I'm going to move it over just a hair. There we go. We can also apply what's called paragraph formatting. We've been doing a lot of character formatting so far. Things like color, font, size, leading, all that kind of thing. With the type tool selected, let's take a look at some of this. Click in the threaded text in the artboard on the left. Press Command A on Mac or Control A on Windows to select all the text that's threaded between the two. Come over to the paragraph section over here and click More Options. And you're going to see we have things like left spacing or left margin, right margin. We have first line, indent. We have space before and space after. We want to put a little space after each paragraph. So change this to 9 point. Let me go up. And you can see after each paragraph is now 9 points of spacing. All right, select the selection tool. Click your local home repair specialist. Whoops. To align the text to center, click Align Center right here. Looks a little bit better. Choose Select, Deselect, and then save your file. When you work with type, you're going to run across the term glyphs. Glyphs are basically characters. They can be numbers, letters, whatever you want. We're going to talk about working with the glyphs panel a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, if you want to follow along, you can. You don't have to. I'm going to make a copy of this text here by Option dragging or Alt dragging. Put it over here. Double click to insert the cursor after RJ Hardware here. Come up to Type, and you're going to see glyphs. Now this is called the glyphs panel. Glyphs panel, these are amazing. These are built into a font, and if you want, you can get really big. And you can see all the different characters you can use. If you ever need to insert like a copyright, a trademark, or even bullet point or things like that, you're going to find them in here. You're going to find them in here. So like if you look right there, if you click on one to select it, double click to insert it, you can see there's a copyright symbol right there. Any glyph you want to use, you can double click to insert, trademark, whatever. But this is where you're going to find them. You can see all different kinds of sorting, like different types of forms if you want to, alternates for the selection. You can make this bigger or smaller to see them easier. You can change the actual font to use a different glyph if you want to. But these are all built into the fonts. It's something you can use. All right, I'll close that up. Select the selection tool, delete that, and we'll keep moving. Next, you're going to have vertically aligned text in a type area. That means vertically this way, aligning it. Select the selection tool, click the heading, your local home repair specialist, and in the area type options over here, you're going to see by default, text is aligned to the top of the objects. If you go to center, you can go to bottom. You can also vertically justify it, like that. I'm going to go to the bottom, and that way it's going to make it so that we can adjust it a little bit easier here. And then drag the text so it's sort of like this, close-ish, if you will. You can also use your arrow keys up, down, left, right to adjust if you want to do that. And there we go. I wanted to mention glyph snapping because it's something that's kind of interesting. If you want to follow along, you can. Otherwise, just sit back and watch. If you come up to Window and come down to Type, you're going to see the Character panel. Go ahead and open that up. In the Character panel, you can see that we've got all these options down here called Snap to Glyph. You can snap things to glyphs pretty easily down here. These are all turned on. And what I mean by that is this. I'm going to eventually go back to where we're at, but I'm going to make a copy of text. Option drag or Alt drag, and zoom into it. I'll zoom in. I'm using the scroll wheel on my mouse. And I'm just going to take like a box here that I make and drag it around. And you're going to start to see, can you see these green guides? Like right there? That right there is called the glyph bound. So in other words, it's snapping to the edge of the letter T, for instance. There's a lot of things you can snap to. Like right here, you're going to see the intersect. It's going to snap to the bottom. That's glyph bound as well. There's all kinds of things that are happening here. We have things like proximity guides, like all kinds of stuff that it will snap to. You can see glyph bound there. These are all turned on or turned off. You can see if I turn off glyph bounds, for instance, I won't see those guides anymore. So if they're annoying you, you can turn them off. You don't use them. You can also snap to like the X height. So like if I have this, let's see if I can get it. Get it to snap. X height's turned on, it should be doing it. No, not quite doing it for me here. Should be doing that. Baseline, X height, etc., etc. Let's see if I have a little more text actually. I'm going to move over and put a little text out here. Still not snapping to baseline, but oh, X height, baseline, there we go. Which is kind of weird because that's not really the baseline, but anyway, you can see the things that we're snapping to. This glyph snapping is something that can help you if you're really trying to get persnickety or particular about like a logo with text or something like that. I use it once in a while. I don't use it all the time, but it does help. All right, I'm going to close the character panel, delete all the text here, and choose View, Fit All in Window. We're going to take the text right here and actually turn it into two columns of text by taking the box and splitting it into two columns. So with the selection tool selected, click the paragraph of text here. Select that. There we go. Choose Type, Area Type Options. And in this big old dialog box, you're going to see we can change the number of columns, we can change the number of rows. And I want to change the gutter, I believe, to something narrower. That's the distance between the columns. We're going to make it a little narrower. Click OK, and you got it. Drag the bottom point down here. If it's not sized to the aqua box, make sure it kind of snaps or sizes to the aqua box. There we go. One thing I love is because this is Illustrator, we can do all kinds of things to like a text box. We're going to take this text box and reshape it. So click the 215 grand text right here. Press Command and plus on Mac or Control and plus on Windows to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in a fair amount. Select the direct selection tool rather, and you're going to see we have anchor points. Click on one here, and then drag that point to the right. I'm kind of trying to match the angle here, sort of. That's not too bad. We're contouring the text so it kind of goes around the logo here. And now what you can do to finish is drag it a little bit closer with the selection tool. Something like that. When you format text, sometimes you want to use that formatting somewhere else. And you don't want to, replicate it or redo it. So come down here and choose one vertical add. Select the type tool. And at the bottom of the artboard, above this curved black line, click and type family, and I think it's uppercase, owned since 1918. Press the escape key to select the text and the selection tool. Now, to sample the formatting from other text, you need the eyedropper tool. So select the eyedropper tool over here, and then click on Making Your Home Beautiful. You see it right there. And it automatically samples and applies the formatting to the text selected. Choose Select, Deselect, and save your file. If you format text, like the text here, and you want to save that formatting, you can save it as a paragraph style. That's what we'll do. select the selection tool. On the artboard on the left here, double-click the paragraphs of text to switch to the type tool and insert the cursor. Then we're going to open up the paragraph styles panel. So choose Window, Type, there we go, Paragraph Styles. Now you're going to see that we have a paragraph style in here which saves formatting for the basic or normal paragraph style. Come down to the bottom, and what we do is we can create a new style, and it saves the formatting from wherever the cursor is. So click Create New Style. Double click on the style name here and call it Body and press Return or Enter. It just kind of makes sense to name these what they are. Now choose Select All. We're going to select all the text. What we did was we just put our cursor in the text, said take that formatting and save it. Now we're going to apply that style to all the text. That way if we edit this formatting over here in the style, all this text will change. So click Body to apply it. Nothing should look different. Now I'll have you practice by making another paragraph style. So choose Select, Deselect, select the selection tool, and click the 215 Grand Street text right here. In the Properties panel, click the Fill Color, and we're going to select a dark green swatch, which is right there. To make a new paragraph, come down here and click on the Create New Style button. Let's rename it. Double click on it. I don't mean to do that. Double click on the name. Call it Blurb, and press Return or Enter. Okay, click on Family Owned right here. Click the Blurb paragraph style, and it'll apply it there. When you create paragraph styles, you're probably going to want to edit them. That's what we'll do next. Double click in the paragraphs of text for the body style here. And that'll put the cursor in there, and switch over to the type tool. Now to edit the body style, double click to the right, not on the name, but to the right, and it should open a dialog box. In here you can set all the different formatting options you can see out here. Come to Basic Character Formats, change the font size, or make it 14, it's probably blank, and change leading to auto. That's the automatic leading value. You should actually see it out there. It should be happening because preview is selected. Click OK and leave the cursor in the paragraph. Next thing we're going to do is talk a little bit about working with character styles. I wanted to talk a little bit about character styles because they are different from paragraph styles. If you want to follow along, you can. I'm going to select the selection tool and copy maybe this text right here. Option drag or alt drag the text over. Now let's suppose that in here we had RJ's Hardware, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to make it to where every time you see that, it's maybe like a different color, like that. Okay? If I wanted to take that formatting, just maybe color, font size, whatever, and apply it somewhere else, I could save it as a character style. A character style basically saves character formatting, not paragraph formatting. So if I come over here and say New Style, double click, call it like highlight or something like that, or bold or whatever. If you select some other text and click on it, you can see what it does. Character styles are typically used for text within a paragraph, not like a whole paragraph, usually. Pretty easy to use. They are different from paragraph styles, you can see, but they both work together. Okay, to finish, I'm going to go back. I'm going to delete that text, delete the character style, and then fit all in window. Or fit artboard window rather. So fit artboard and window, and we're back where we should be. In Illustrator, you can create bullet and numbered lists, and we're going to do that next. So come down here and choose 3 small add, and you come to this little add right here. With the selection tool selected, click the text that starts with General Home Repair right here. In the Properties panel, if you want to assign or apply a bullet list, you can do it here, or a numbered list, you can do it here. Click the Bullets button, and it'll convert the text into a bullet list. Now you can also apply bullet lists to paragraphs by selecting them, so you don't have to do a whole, box full of text if you don't want to. Now, to set some options here, come over to the Properties panel and click the arrow to the right of the bullet button and try selecting a different appearance. You can change the bullet out there if you want to. I'll leave it at that. Now, click More Options right here, and you can see a bullets and numbering dialog box where you can set some other things. Set the left indent to 0. I'm going to crank that back. And you can even go negative if you want to. And what that does is it takes a bullet and hangs it outside of the box. All right, click OK. There's other things you can do here, but click OK. And then double click over here before the word drywall to insert the cursor. Press Enter, Return, and you'll see a new bullet. That's because this was actually all the same paragraph before. You just made it a new paragraph now. Insert the cursor before roofing. Delete the word and the space. Press Return or Enter, and you've got a new bullet. Drag across drywall and roofing to select both paragraphs. Come over here and we can change the formatting if we want to. So click the arrow to the right of the bullet button. Click More Options. And change the level here to 2. That's going to indent it underneath any of the bullets that are already here. Click OK. And you may want to, with the selection tool, drag. Let me go back over there. Drag the box up a bit. You can do that if you want to. And it looks pretty good. There we go. Choose Select, Deselect, and save your file. Now we'll talk about how to wrap text. Choose one vertical add from here. And if you select the selection tool, what you can see over here is that we actually have text and we've got this picture of this screw. Click on the white screw, and what you can do is you can apply what's called text wrap to an object so that the text goes around it. Choose Object, Text Wrap, Make. Now, the object that the text is going to go around has to be on the same layer as the text, and it needs to be on top. So with it selected, click Arrange and choose Bring to Front. And now you can see that it's actually affecting the text. Now, to take the text and push it away further, we can set some options here. So choose Object, Text Wrap Options. Change the offset to 15. Or whatever you want. And you can see that the offset, shown by this blue line, is pushing the text away. Click OK, and you've got it. One thing I love doing in Illustrator is curving text. We're going to put some text down here on the path, so it curves. With the selection tool selected, select the black curved path down here. Press Command and plus or Control and plus on Windows a few times to zoom in. Alright, select the type tool. What we're going to do is we're going to take this text and we're going to put it on the line. But first, come to the line. When your cursor changes and it looks something like this, whoops, like that, click. It puts some placeholder text on there. Okay, click in the family-owned text here. Press Command A or Control A to select it all. We're going to copy it, so choose Edit Copy. Now we're going to replace this text here. So click in the placeholder text on the path, select it all by pressing Command A or Control A, and choose Edit Paste. Now the text is not perfectly centered here, and we want to do that. So select the selection tool, and if you look, you're going to see these little handles here. There's a handle here and a handle here. It's kind of hard to see. If you come to this little line, it's a handle. Grab it, you can drag the text around. So drag it so it's about centered on the logo. Something like that. Alright, click the family-owned text here, delete it, and you've got yourself text on a path. Now we're going to have a little fun and reshape text with an envelope warp, it's called. So choose View, Fit Artboard and Window, and click the RJ Hardware text here. You want to zoom in a little bit. So press Command and plus on Mac or Control and plus on Windows so you can see it a little closer. To warp it, choose Object, Envelope Distort, Make with Warp. There are several ways to do this. Make with Warp gives you options that are kind of built into Illustrator, I guess you could say. Make sure Arc Upper is chosen. Do that one. And you can set the bend how you want it. You can go up, down, however you want to do it. You can see it's kind of cool. Make sure that the bend is around 50%. I'll do 50. And click OK. Once you warp text, you're going to want to edit it. So let's do that. With the envelope object still selected, come up here, you're going to see two buttons. There's one called Edit Envelope, which is the shape that the text is in. And there's one called Edit Contents. Click Edit Contents, and that lets you select the text. Select the Type tool. Move the pointer over the warped text. Change RJ to RJ''S. Select the Selection tool. And you can see it kind of moved over. We're going to fix all that, don't worry. Click the Edit Envelope button here, and that goes back to the shape. Now that you've got that, you can actually go in and adjust the warp options again. So click the Warp Options button here. And you already saw this dialog box. Let's change the warp, or the bend rather, to 25%. A little bit less. Click OK. All right. Drag the warp text and the Making Your Home Beautiful kind of down here. So it's sort of centered-ish, if you will. That looks pretty good. Choose Select, Deselect. Deselect your text and save your file. As the last thing for this lesson, we're going to talk about creating text outlines. So choose View, Fit All in Window. I'm pretty sure you can close the paragraph style panel. I probably already told you in the book, but I kept it open. Click on your local home repair specialist right here. And then what we're going to do is this. We're going to make a copy of this as text. We're going to hide the original. Then we're going to paste the text in there. And then we're going to turn it into what's called outlines. Outlines allows you to take a font, or text rather, and do whatever you want to it. You can use the direct selection tool and stretch it, tear it apart, do anything you want. Right now as text, there's only so much you can do to it. So let's try this. Choose Edit Copy, and then choose Object Hide Selection. We're going to hide the text. There we go. Now we're going to choose Edit Paste in Front. That's going to put one right there again. Now, the reason why we did that is so that you have an original saved. You can always show later on if you need to edit the text. Choose Type, Create Outlines, and you've just converted the text to outlines. You can, if you want, I didn't show this in the book, but if you go to the direct selection tool, for instance, you can now come to a letter and treat it like a shape. Let me zoom in a little. Treat it like a shape. You can do that. So they're all shapes now, which is kind of cool. All right, last bit of housekeeping. If you click on this, you can drag this up to kind of balance the columns, if you will, make it a little bit better looking. Deselect everything so you can see it all. Choose View, Fit All in Window if you haven't already. Save your file and close all the open files. We're going to start this lesson by making sure that the preferences are reset. Illustrator's open, and we're going to open up the end file to see what we're going to create. So click Open or choose File Open. In the Lessons Lesson 10 folder, open the L10end.ai file. Now if you see the missing fonts dialog box, you can activate the fonts here. When it's finished, you can click Close and click Skip here. This means it's going to auto-activate every time. Alright, you got yourself some text there, that's good. Now choose View, Fit All in Window so you can see everything. And we're going to reset the workspace. So come up to Window, Workspace, Reset Essentials with Essentials chosen. And let's open the file you're going to work on. So choose File Open. L10start.ai, open that up, and let's save the file. So choose File, Save As, click Save on your computer so we can save it locally in the folder, and then call this Cookie Package. Make sure Illustrator is chosen for the format or the Save As type, and click Save. Click OK, and we're ready to create. We'll start things off by creating a few new layers and kind of start talking about what they are. Choose View, Fit All in Window, just to make sure you can see what we see. To show the Layers panel, you should see it over here because we reset the workspace, but come to Layers over on the right, and you're going to see that we have a single layer to start with in every new document. If you click to the left of this arrow here, or click on that arrow, what you're going to see is you're going to see all the stuff in the document. So you can see like the hair and the body and the background and all that. So like there's the background, there's the rectangle that's red. You can go in and do things like show and hide content, like turn an arm off, lock things right here. You can, select things. There's all sorts of things you can do with layers. What we're going to do is we're going to go in and create a few so that we can organize our artwork better. Okay, click that same arrow to hide all the stuff in the layer. That just makes it a little more organized. In the Layers panel, double-click directly on the layer name, Layer 1, and call it Package. We need to name our layers so they make sense. Press Return or Enter. All right, at the bottom of the Layers panel, way down here, we're going to make a brand new layer. So click the Create New Layer button. That's going to make a new layer at the top. Double-click the layer thumbnail to the left. You could also click to the right of the name. And we're going to name this Arms. This layer is going to have the arms on it. And there's a ton of options on here, like locking things, etc. Click OK. Now, notice that the layer has a different color. That means that if you have something selected and you see like the blue bounding box we've been seeing so far, the layer color actually tells you what layer something's on based on the bounding box color. So this is blue, that's blue. Anything on the arms layer is going to have a red bounding box. All right, let's make one more layer, do a little practice. Go ahead and click the Create New Layer button. It's going to make a new layer, and I'm realizing I selected the wrong layer. Let me undo that. So if you have the arms layer, it's going to be selected. If you click Create New Layer, it should show what we show in the book. Create New Layer, it should put it at the top. Double-click the name, call it Mouth. Press Enter, Return, and you've got the layers out there now. A sublayer is kind of like a group of things, and it's something that is a layer that's on a layer. It's called a sublayer. Let's make one and you'll see. In the Layers panel, select the layer named Mouth if it isn't already. Come down here and click Create New Sublayer. That's going to create a sublayer right here that's on the mouth layer. Double-click the new name there and call it Teeth, and press Return or Enter. Now, what you can do with this is use it to organize things. If you wanted to have the mouth and you wanted to have like the teeth, the mouth part, tongue, whatever, you could have separate sublayers for each and put like all the teeth on the teeth sublayer to organize them. That's really what we're doing here, just trying to organize things. When you work with content in Illustrator, sometimes you're going to click on something and then want to see where it is in the layers so you can see if it's in a sublayer, is it grouped with something, like what's going on with it. Well, first of all, let's do this. Drag the left edge of the Layers panel further to the left just so we can see more in the panel. Click one of the teeth in the top here and it should select the entire group. Now, if you look over here in the Layers panel, you're going to see, okay, Package highlighted, which means it's in the package layer. And you're going to see this little blue square. That means that it's on that layer. It's selected and it's on that layer. That's what that means. Come down here and click the Locate Object button at the bottom of the Layers panel. What it does is it opens up the layer and highlights what you have selected out here. So it shows you. There it is right there. It's a group of 3 paths. You're going to see the little blue box there again. That means that there are 3 paths out there, 3 teeth. and they're all selected. That's what that little blue box is. So you don't see each individual tooth, click the arrow to the left of group. You can now just see it's a group out there. Shift click a tooth on the bottom row here. That's going to select them all out there. And if you look, it actually selected two different groups. So the top teeth and the bottom teeth are both grouped respectively. All right, choose select, deselect. In the next section, I'm going to ask you to select those same groups in the layers panel. So just be aware. We made new layers for a reason, so that we can take some of the stuff and put them on those new layers. So that's what we're going to do now. Click one of the teeth group names in the layers panel that was just selected, then shift click the other group name. Drag either of them up onto the teeth sublayer. When it highlights, let go, and you just added those groups to the teeth sublayer. Click the arrow to the left, and you'll see them. There they are now. All right, click the white mouse shape out here on the artboard. And what we want to do is we want it to go from the package. You can see there it is right there. There's the path. We want it to go to the mouth layer. So click the name of the selected path to select it in the list. Now, find the image object on the package layer. You can see it right there. Command click or control click that name to select it as well. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take both of those and move them up to the mouth layer. So drag either of them onto the mouth layer, not the sublayer. Let go. And you'll see that it put the path, the image, and now the teeth are underneath all of that. And you can't see them out there because they're rearranged. Also notice the color. The color of the bounding box is now this green. And you can see that's because the layer color is green. Okay, choose select, deselect. And now we're going to try dragging content to a new layer using a different method. There are a lot of ways to do things in Illustrator, and we're going to try another method for dragging content to a new layer. Come over to the Layers panel, click the arrow to the left of the package and mouth layer names to hide the content. So you just see the three layers now. Select one of the orange arms on the artboard. You can now see that the selected art indicator, this thing right here, that means that it's on the package layer and it's selected. Drag that blue square straight up to the arms layer. It'll turn red and let go. You just move that arm to the arms layer. You can see there it is right there in the thumbnail. You can see the little box now is on that layer and the bounding box is red. Try the other arm. You could have done both at once, I know. Come to the other arm and drag it up as well and do that. Another way to do this is to cut and paste onto a layer. I mean, there's a million ways to do this kind of thing, but I'm just trying to show you a few different methods here. All right, click the triangle to the left of the arms layer to show the arms in the list. You can see them there now. So you can see there are two groups. With one arm still selected, shift click the other arm, and let's group them. So choose Object. Now watch in the Layers panel what happens. We now have a single group, and if I were to open it, both arms, both group arms are in there. All right, click the arrow to the left of the arms layer. You're going to hide the group. Deselect by choosing Select, Deselect, and save your file. We've done a fair amount of locking and hiding content over the past several, or how many lessons we've had. Now we're going to show you how to do it in the Layers panel. Click the background cream colored rectangle here. Then to find it in the Layers panel, click the Locate Object button at the bottom. Now you can see it right there at the bottom. We're going to lock it. So choose Object, Lock, Selection. Now look right here. You see that little lock icon? That means that it's locked. You can actually unlock it here or lock it here. Either way. It's the same thing. All right. Click the lock icon to unlock it. In the Layers panel, click the empty column to the right of the eye icon for the package layer. So you can see right here, we're going to lock the entire package layer. To hide the content in the package layer, click the eye icon for the package layer. You can now just see what's out there. We basically have the arms and the mouth content. Now don't forget the mouth content, if you look, it's all beneath and over here. So you can't see it. One reason why we make layers is so that we can reorder layer content and make it easy on ourselves. Let's do this. To view artwork in outline mode, press Command and Y on Mac or Control and Y on Windows. And you can see the teeth and the arms and the mouth and all that. Alright, drag across the corner of the white mouse shape here to select it. You can see what layer it's on based on the color, based on the little square here, selected art indicator. Click the arrow to the left of the mouth so you can see it. There it is right there. There's the path we're talking about. Now, we're going to send it behind everything else so we can see it. So choose Object, Arrange, Send to Back. Look what just happened. In the Layers panel, it put it at the bottom, I should say. It should put it at the bottom of the layer itself. It will not, using Arrange commands, will not put objects beneath other things that are on different layers. Only on the single layer will it work. All right, press Command and Y or Control and Y to turn back on the coloring, and you can see right here that the teeth are now on top. Now, we still have a problem. The arms are behind. Like I said, you can't arrange this path, the mouth, behind the arms because the arms are in a different layer. Click the triangles to the left of mouth, arms, and package to hide the content for each. That way it's a little easier to move. All right, choose Select, Deselect. Drag the mouth layer down beneath the arms layer. When you see a line, let go. You can now see that the arms are on top of everything. Show the package layer content by clicking where the eye icon was, and you got the rest of your content out there. You might need to view artwork as outlines, but not all of it, just some of it. We're going to try to do that now. Click the triangle for the package layer to show the content. Come to the eye icon to the left of the package layer, and instead of just clicking to turn it off, Command click on Mac or Control click on Windows, and you'll actually turn it into outlines, just that content on that layer. Click the lock to unlock the package layer. Click the edge of the shape. You should now be able to see the shape down here. See that? That's why we made this an outline. Select that thing. Come back up here and Command click or Control click the eye icon so we can see all the layer content again. Drag the selected path by its name right here above the top object in the layer. When you see a line appear, release. And you just arranged it to the top. It's the same thing as going over to here to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front. That's exactly the same thing. All right, click the triangle to the left of the package layer to hide the content. Deselect and save your file. Sometimes you need to bring artwork from other documents, and that's what we're going to do next. Choose Window, Workspace, Reset Essentials so that the Layers panel and everything goes back where it should be. Let's open up a file now. Choose File, Open. We're going to open up the packagingtext.ai file. That's in the Lessons Lesson 10 folder. Choose View, Fit Artboard and Window so you can see everything. Let's take a look at the layers. So click on the Layers tab. You can see that we have two layers here, Brand Text and Cookie Type. All right, we're going to copy everything and move it. Choose Select, All. Choose Edit, Copy. We're going to close this, so close it. Come back to your cookie package document. Before you paste, we want to make sure that we preserve those layers. So click on the Layers panel menu here and choose Paste Remembers Layers. That's turned on permanently now, so you got to remember that. Choose Edit, Paste. It'll paste that content, but first what we want to do is we want to merge swatches. So click OK, and it should paste the content. Drag it down, let's see where we want. Something like that, there we go. That looks pretty good. I use my arrow keys a little bit to move it around. And I think that looks good. Choose Select, Deselect. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to merge layers into a new layer. We're going to merge the two layers that we just brought in by pasting into a single layer. So select the brand text layer in the list if it's not already selected. Shift click the cookie type layer. Click the Layers panel menu and choose Merge Selected. It keeps the layer name of one of them, but we're going to change that. In the Layers panel, double click directly on the layer name. Change the name to text. Press Return or Enter. And in this case, it's just going to make it easier if we want to like turn all the text off instead of having two layers to do that. So that's why we merged them together. If you've got content that you want to duplicate, you can do that by duplicating a layer. In the Layers panel, select the text layer and choose Duplicate Text from out here. Now you can tell it's the copy or the duplicate because it says Text Copy. Click the eye icon for the original text layer to hide it temporarily. Then select the Direct Selection tool. Click in the green eye art here and then shift click this one. And what we're going to do is just change the color. Open the Properties panel, click the Fill color, and just pick another color. I'll pick the aqua. All right, choose Select, Deselect. We now have two copies. So we actually have the text copy and the text. So if you wanted to, you could turn on and off these two, do that kind of thing. The other thing we could have done is we could have had all the text be one layer and the eyes be another layer, just so that, you know, that's the only thing that's different, so why have two layers with everything on it? Anyway. Now we're going to create a clipping mask using the layers. We're going to take this image and we're going to put it into the cookie package right here. So select the selection tool and select the image to the right. You should see that it's on the mouth layer. There's the selected art indicator right there. Click the triangle for the mouth layer so you can see what's on it. And you'll see the image listed right there. Click the white mouth shape on the artboard to select it. Choose Object, Arrange, Bring to Front to bring it to the front. And you'll see it actually brought it on top of the all the content on the mouth layer. Drag the cookie image onto the white shape here. And it's going to be a little weird. That's okay. Whatever you want. In the Layers panel, click the name of the mouth layer to select it. Then come down here and click Make Release Clipping Mask. Now, we're going to do this and I'll tell you what it did. To use this Make Release Clipping Mask, you got to have a shape at the top level of the layer. So it's got to be the top object, like the mouth. Once you tell it to do that, it's going to take that object and make it the clipping mask for everything on the layer. Now the problem is that teeth are missing. Okay, they're behind. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose Object, Arrange, Send to Back, so that the mouth, the image itself rather, is behind everything else. And there we go. If you wanted to take your image and make it a little smaller, for instance, you could use Option Shift or Alt Shift if you want to, and do something like that, and drag it around, put it inside. You can do that too. All right, go ahead and save your file and close any open files. To start this lesson, make sure you've reset the default preferences and you've started Illustrator. And we're going to open artboards, and here's the main piece right here. Choose View, Fit All in Window so you can see it all. And if you want to keep this open, you can to reference it. Otherwise, we're going to open the file to start with. So choose File, Open. In the same folder, open up L11start.ai. And so you can see it all, choose View, Fit All in Window. Okay, now we're going to save this. So choose File, Save As. Click Save in your computer so we can save it locally. Let's call this Presentation. And make sure Illustrator is chosen for the format or Save As type, and click Save. You can click OK to this dialog box. And let's reset the workspace. So come up to Window, Workspace, make sure Essentials is chosen, and then choose Reset Essentials. We'll start by applying a simple linear gradient to a fill. So choose one presentation slide down here. And with the selection tool selected, come out here and come to that pink shape right there and double click on it. That's going to enter isolation mode so you can focus on it. Click the fill box in the properties panel, and then click the swatches button to make sure that's selected. And we're going to select the gradient swatch, which is by default there, called white black. All right, leave these swatches showing for the next video, and we're going to talk about how we edit the gradient color next. You just applied the white-black gradient here. Now we're going to change the color. So with the swatches panel still showing, click the gradient options button down here. All right, in the gradient panel, it's going to open that up basically. We're going to go in and make sure that the fill box is chosen or selected. That way we're editing the fill, which is the white-black gradient. Come down here and double-click on the black color stop. That's what this is called. In the panel that appears, click the swatches so we can see all the swatches we just saw. And then select the yellow swatch down here in the group. Press the escape key. And we're going to leave the white color on this side, and that's totally fine.